treat themselves, and by so it's also going to increase our partners. That of consultancy and things of things. I think the good concept that project be reaching to conclusion so that we can solve them. On the demonstration center in our station, this is the point that we can the good approach and also a proposal can be developed with that so that we have it in the house station. But what I want to say regarding that, do we actually have to run this outside? Because I know if I don't know anything, I know this extension is a specialist. All of us here are not specialists. We are only specialists at the process. So do we have somebody to manage if actually we have the demonstration center in all our houses, which is a good one. So I will be expecting a proposal. Let's see what we can do there, and then we can talk about that. I think the three presentation, yeah, absolutely and absolutely very good one. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, sir. Any other person? Okay. Dr. Olaide Taiwo.
Thank you very much, EEG. I think you are specialists in our field. Yes, congratulations to the presenters. Yeah, the first thing, my concern is that, so for instance, I don't know how will farmers handle it, or is it not for farmers? How are we going to handle it to make farmers for safety? So the second one is on the study that the sea spices. I don't have a question for farming system management. The issue of the severity of the constraints, did you measure it? Did you measure it? Because I don't know. I have some issues with that. You know, how do you talk about severity, 70% severity, like that? So, you know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My own is just your progeny garden. In your progeny garden, you have ginger. And all these crops, we are just, let me say, we are mired into it because it's not our mandate. Too many ginger is not our mandate. Though we are going into it for maybe commercial aspects. Now, the ones that are mandate, which I know we have, which commands high income in the international market, we have not included it. That is pipe packaging. I know we used to work with Dr. Dewale in those days. Where is it? I was expecting to hear piper in this. It commands high revenue in the international market. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, my question is to Dr. Batman. I just need a clarity on, I think, underlying stock. When you did a breakdown of the income or something, you mentioned the third one says 900 exactly. You mean there? I think one has, there were 3 points. The last one in red says 900 of people. And it was like there's a question mark there. I don't know precisely what that is supposed to address.
Thank you very much for all the comments and contributions mentioned there. Really said that although the spices that they are planting those areas we visited, when we go to Parasi, we find that they are planting lemongrasses, some planting ginger and turmeric. That's what they are doing in Parasi there, but on those states, majority of them are planting, they made it as home garden. They are just adding it in pots where they are using it for their medicinal purposes, for their own use. But to have a big, maybe a big farm like that one, we don't have That with those people that are using that interview, we could see that they are planting some living spices in that area, especially Moniya local government area. Concerning the Dr. Lakide Taiwo, I think one of us will answer that one. Let me, the other prepare to answer that. Self-research question. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, Dr. Isiume, thank you very much. We've worked on pepper genesis. We have some seeding, it's not that much. And we have orchard for feet. So it's not that much. And not that just little harvest we could get from it. Again, we really expand our scope and work on it, it will be. And concerning ginger and turmeric, we stepped down our research on it, but we just we will produce some for the PDP so that I can add value to it. We have ginger, we have turmeric, but we have stepped, we've worked so much on ginger and turmeric, how much we work on it and we have done so much work on that one. But the little one we're planting now is for the PDP to add value to it. Thank you very much.
Please, Dr. Aminu, in addition to that,
Yes, sir.
I expect that some of the spices mentioned here, you should take some of it to just substations. Just substations. Because of the environment.
Noted, sir. That's why we want skin out and green. Some of them, they don't like much green. If you can produce them in the screen out or green out.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
You perform better, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Noted, sir. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Most of the comments on the council program were more of the observations and advices, and they are all being posted. I've done a big one on how to what we are intending to do on the quantity of silage needed to feed the animals. Yes, in the incoming year, the engineers have decided to come up with an originizer that they will be using to make larger quantity of compost and silage that the animals will eat, as against what Dr. Edina has been using. She's been doing a lot of work on composting and just to expand that. So that is that. Then, ma, on the question asked by Professor Ma, I think Dr. Kenneth will answer that. She's in the best position to handle the issue of keep and question mark. But maybe before I give to her, ma, can I hand over?
Yes, please. Thanks, sir. The question is what is responsible for adoption of technologies? Well, sir, now can boast of very good scientists. We have readers, we have agronomists, we have a very wide array of scientists. And so, whatever we push out to the farmers are very good products. So, farmers easily adopt our technologies because we've been able to make them aware of benefits that are inherent in nanotechnology. So, thank you so much.
Hello?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And my advice goes to spices. Yes, your work on the Tetrapur is quite good because that crop is going into extinction. Having developed just grant that for me, you see an area from this Nairobi. In fact, it's crazy that house their compound, what of them. So please do something and let us have an orchard of that. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you, sir. The under that particular heading, they were trying to look at the revenue generated, and we have cattle that belong to the institutes, while we have others that are from outside and are paid monthly. So that's one try to differentiate that the money is from the outside house, and then that of NIOT, the money is not paid for that. I just put that to separate it, so that you can know that that is the money paid into marketing by outsiders that we help to keep cattle.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, are you okay? Thank you very much, everyone, for listening to us. Thank you.
Quickly, we want to say thank you to the chairman, Dr. H.A. Okuntoye, and the presenters. Really want to appreciate it. The presenter really, they kept to the time. Yes, as I was watching the time, they kept to the time. So we really appreciate the presenters and the chairman. And quickly, we are moving forward, and we are promising we're not going to waste much of our time. As we want to call next chairman for the next presentation, Dr. N.O. Olajide Taiwo. Please can you just join your hands as we celebrate it? You're welcome, sir. And quickly, the presenters for this section is vegetable research, Dr. O.A. Akipelu, and the rapporteur for this will be Mrs. Oladosu B.O. And floricultural research that will be taken by Dr. Y. Akinfumi, and the rapporteur for that will be N.E. Okoye. And mushroom research will be having our presenter, Mr. C.A. Otsuma. Rapporteur for that will be Obinwa I.E. You're all welcome. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, the coordinator. Let the rapporteurs come and sit down with me here. Rapporteurs, come and sit down with me here. Rapporteurs should come up here. Please support everyone here. Let the rapporteurs come here. Now, we're going to be having 3 presentations, 10 minutes. Please keep to time. And the next 10 minutes will be for discussion, and that will be the end of the. So, the first presenter, 10 minutes. Thank you.
I need please to stand on the existing protocol. Presents for vegetable research program, report for vegetable research program. I think I will these lists the names of the staff in vegetable program and the designation. Then during the course of the year under review, we had some staff movements. We had some of our staff on study leave, some were redeployed. Then we also had collaborating scientists that joined us on some of our research programs from other programs within the institute. The research topic considered in year 2023 were as follows. We have evaluation and regeneration of various selected indigenous vegetable accessions, evaluation and sustainability practices of selected vegetable crops in the nursery through different growth media. Then we also have varietal maintenance and multiplication for fresh leafy and fruit vegetable production at the Fadama area during the dry season. This is more of production. Activity 1A on collection and morphological characterization of Cucurbita species. That is Ilegede, is one of the indigenous vegetable that we really worked on during the year 2023. And basically, what we did was that we tried to enlarge the institute germplasm of this variety, this crop, because it is a very important crop and is one of the forgotten crop currently that most people are not really eating it. So, and some of the economic importance is that it is a very rich source of protein, vitamin, carotene, and antioxidants. And it's from past research work, we have observed that it is highly therapeutic in that it is used in curing some particular ailments. And we are, from reports too, we have heard that it is used in curing this disease I've forgotten now, that is peculiar to the men. Exactly, prostate cancer. Prostate cancer. So now to the justification for the study. We have diverse pumpkin accession in the country, and they are with diverse characteristics, and they are grown in different parts of the country. Therefore, it is important to characterize them in order to provide information on correct identification, classification, and genetic variability. The objective is to increase the genetic diversity of pumpkin in the institute also for comparative nutritional analysis and to serve as a database for future breeding work. The materials and methods, we had a mini collection from the southwest and northeast Nigeria, some states in the northeast and southwest Nigeria, and we were able to collect 15 accessions. All these were planted on the field, and the experimental design was RCD. The plot size was 2 meters by 3 meters, and we had vegetative growth parameters data collected on the vine length, the number of leaves, and also the fruit yield and the flesh thickness. All these were taken, and the data were subjected to analysis of variance. The results. From the results, that is table 2 above, it was observed that accession 6 had the longest vine length. The longest vine length was observed under accession 6, so also the number of leaves, while the highest, the best stem diameter was under accession 2, and for flesh thickness and average fruit weight, the accession 6 had the best. In terms of fruit color, sugar concentration, and total carotenoid content of the 9 species, the accession 6 also have the best color in terms of FA and even the B. While in terms of total carotenoid, we add accession 4 and accession 5 for the breeds. The outcome: 9 of the 15 accessions were viable on the field when they were planted out. So also accession 6 had distinct vegetative, fruit, and nutrient characteristics, which will be a basis for breeding work. Then the second activity was collection and conservation of indigenous vegetables. And the objective is to collect and conserve indigenous vegetables of importance in order to increase our germplasm base within the institute and to identify the major economic constraints in the production of the indigenous vegetable materials. The materials and method, we visited some markets, local markets in Oyo State and also in Abia State. for the collection. Most of the indigenous vegetable obtained, they were planted out in our indigenous vegetable orchard of the Institute for proper establishment, identification, and multiplication. The plate shows the common names of some of the collected indigenous vegetables. We had Tete Abalaye. You may want to ask me that, why Tete Abalaye? But the truth is that if you get to the field, you won't see Tete Abalaye again. We had Efo Yanrin, Efo Igbagba, Shoko Abalaye, and Forowo. We also had Ebolu. We all had them during the rainy season on the field. And the observation was that indigenous vegetables are highly placed among consumers because of their nutritional importance. Their availability in the market is seasonal. Some of the indigenous vegetables, Worowo and Ebolu, they don't produce seeds. Therefore, getting planting materials is a challenge. And the outcome, 8 indigenous vegetables were collected and established in the vegetable orchard, and this has increased the Institute germplasm base for indigenous vegetable, and also Institute germplasm base for indigenous vegetable for pupils on excursion and excursion visits. Research topic 2 is on evaluation and sustainability practice of selected vegetable crops in the nursery through different growth media. You know, for most of our vegetables, most of them, pre-germination using different growing media is a major cultural practice. And this study, we were able to evaluate the influence of different growing media on seed germination and seedling growth of tomato, pepper, and ugu for enhanced field establishment and increased crop yield. Now to the materials and methods. We have different experimental treatments spanning through cocoa peats, and this was also mixed in with topsoil in ratio 1:1 as listed above. The treatment arrangement for CRP and seed of the mentioned vegetable were sown in a plastic tray with respective media and replicated 3 times. All this data on agronomic parameters and root parameters were assessed, and this was also analyzed. For pepper and tomato, for pepper, we had T9, given the best plant height, T9, and also for the number of leaves under pepper, T9 is soil topsoil, which is the control. And for tomato, we have C1, which is the cocoa peat, given the best plant height. The outcome for this, it was observed that sawdust is not a suitable medium for pepper and tomato. For pepper and tomato seed germination, while topsoil seemed to be the best medium for pepper plant growth in this experiment. For ugu, islands for ugu, the highest germination percentage for ugu, Telferia occidentalis, was observed in cocoa peat treatment 10 days after sowing, and the similar trend was observed in cocoa peat and topsoil. So from this study, spent mushroom compost would therefore be recommended as the most effective and economical medium for raising Telferia in the nursery for good field establishment and high yield. The last one is into production, and as at this, I think this report was presented July 2023. By now, these are, the best we could turn into marketing so far as then. But by now, I want to believe we'll be having ×3 of what I'm presenting now, and that's all. Thank you for listening. And I want to also use this opportunity to give kudos to the staff of Vegetable Program. We have done well. Thank you very much.
Okay, agriculture I like you are just acting like a lamp, eh? It's okay. So, you've done well, okay. Sorry for your.
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on the already established protocol. I think we are presenting the report of activities for the year 2023. The title is Improvement of Existing and Development of New Production Techniques for Palm, Roses, Carnations, Chrysanthemum, and Grandia Marigold for sustainable economic development and improved livelihood. These are members. Floriculture is a valuable part of horticultural industry as we have known, and it is important for its aesthetic, social, and economic importance. You can all agree with me, these flowers on the table, they are not artificial, they are natural flowers. And also, as you are walking through the auditorium, you see palms on the corridor, they are natural, but it's the work in floriculture program. Ornamental plants play a essential role in improving the environment, and they are used in medicine and as raw materials in pharmaceutical, cosmetic, and perfume industry have been established. The floriculture program has a mandate to promote ornamental plant production through research and to achieve objectives. General objective of the program is to develop, improve, and promote production techniques for the selected ornamentals for sustainable economic development and improved livelihood. The first activity that we embarked on the year is to carry out survey, collection, and propagation of ornamental palm germplasm. We major mainly on palm, the first aspect of it. And as we have known, there is need to provide relevant information that may improve performance of actors in the commodity value chain. And because of this, the objective of this study was to describe the socioeconomic characteristics of ornamental palm producers, to evaluate the resource use profile of the respondents, and to identify the constraints encountered by the actors. The study area we made use of Lagos, so we did other areas, but I'm reporting for Lagos because it's the economic hub of Nigeria. That's where we have majority of these ornamental palm producers. The sampling technique used is snowball sampling technique, and questionnaire were administered to 20 respondents. Data were analyzed and described by the characteristics. From what we have in table 1, talk about the socioeconomic characteristics of the respondents, and we discovered that 75% of the respondents were male, and they are married, and majority of them they are not illiterate, they have secondary education, and they are between the age of 31 and 40 years age. Also, we talk about how long have they been in this business. Most of them have been in business between 11 and 20 years, and also they make use of less than 1 acre of land for their production of ornamental palm. And these lands were derived either by leasing and from government or individuals. We also look into the resource profile of these respondents. We discovered that 90% of them they made use of less than 1 acre of land, and labor, as I said, is hired. And the need of organic manure to improve the fertility of the soil that they are using for their production. Then, in the area of training, most of them talked about landscaping. They want to know more about landscaping. That's what they want to know more, because that is where they say that you get most of the income from. Then the constraint they encounter in their production most majorly is pests and diseases, followed by death, because most of them they are along the road, and they don't usually have protecting their farm, and so they have a lot of death around. Then also land unavailability is also one constraint that is facing them. Then in total, we have a total of 5 ornamental palms collected during our collection, and characterization of all these palms is ongoing in the floriculture garden. Then 20 tourists were made to Lagos State, and means that their challenges were also known. Ornamental palms have enormous economic potential, and from what we have discovered, pests and diseases, theft and unavailability of land are constraints that facing production crop. We recommend that capacity building of actors in the identified constraints should be done. Activity 2 is on morphology characteristics of selected ornamental palms. Out of the palms that we collected, we chose 4 to look at their morphology. Palm seed morphology and physiology play very important role in their production. And morphological characteristics that distinguish palm seeds include the size, the shape, the weight, the color, appearance of the fruit, epidermis, and the texture. In this study, out of all the ornamental plants selected, we selected 4: the Wilsonian palm plant, king palm, and king palm. The seeds were collected when they are mature, when they are red, they were collected and they were processed, and they were deformed. And after that, 10 out of each of these ornamental plants were selected and they were measured the fresh and the dry weight of the length, the width, and the weight of the fresh and the dry seed. And these are the seeds that were, this is the Wilsonian, Queen's palm, and King's palm that were evaluated. We discovered that Queen's palm gave a higher amount of the parameters listed, while palm gave the lowest number. In conclusion, morphological characteristics is important to culture so as to know the nature of seed for propagation purpose. And in the study, we discovered that Queen's palm recorded higher thickness, breadth, and which aided early germination, while palm were smaller in size and weight, which slow and prolong germination. The next activity is to look at the effect of different growth media on the germination and growth of Queen's palm. Queen's palm growth media play crucial role in planning germination and subsequent growth of Queen's palm. And the objective of this study is to determine the effect of different growth media on the germination and the growth of Queen's palm. And the seeds were collected when they were matured and they were processed. And after that, 20 seeds of Queen's palm they were processed and put into different growth media, and the media are listed up there. The media rotation into boards and they are arranged in the trainers. This is the arrangement. This is when the initial stage of the setup of the media becomes, and gradually, this is about 6 months. 6 months of after establishment. You can see how they are. To plant or to grow ornamental plants, they are not other easy. That's the reason why they command a lot of, it's very expensive for you to buy or to get ornamental plants. The number of these, height of the seedling, number of these, the shoots and root fresh weight, the shoots and root dry weight were collected, and data were analyzed, and significance means were separated with evidence. Other parameters in the palms that we use. In conclusion, germination and the growth of Queen's palms to enhance the use of different growth media. Topsoil to sawdust ratio 3:1 has great potential in its use for germination of Queen's palm seedlings. And also, topsoil to manure ratio 1:2 has great potential for proper growth and establishment of the palm seedling. The fourth activity is to identify the major insect pests of the ornamental plant and also to formulate effective biopesticides in the management of these pests. The objective is to identify insect pests and also to formulate the biopesticide management. The ornamental plants, after they have been brought to the institute, they were established, they were taken to the nursery for them to stabilize, then they were now taken to the field for them to be established on the field. And after 3 weeks of establishment, insect tests were taken on randomly selected ornamental plants, and this work was done for 6 months. Because the collected insects were identified and the insect occurrence and damage to ornamental plants were also recorded. From the result, we discovered that grasshopper, stingbug, and millipede were the major insects that were observed on the farm during the study. And the damage they caused is the pollination of the foliage and sap from the plant.
So your last 1 minute,
These are the insects that were observed, and grasshopper was more of the population. These are the damage, the pollution, and substratum. Work is still ongoing on development of sustainable management package on the pest. As it is we discovered that apart from ornamental, we also work on some other plants, ornamental plants that have medicinal purpose, and they have fungi and bacteria on the skin that help to protect skin from skin disease. The objective is to determine the individual antimicrobial activities against bacteria and fungi that cause common skin infections. And fresh seeds of these three ornamental plants were used: Murraya, Acalypha, and Bryophyllus. They were processed, they were dried, and they were ground into powder, and the extract were done by the use of methanol. And the extract were evaporated and percentage use were calculated. Phytochemical analysis and microbial screening of the test organisms were done. And from what we experienced, discovered that Acalypha recorded more of the phytochemical of secondary metabolites in the plant. Then also this is the process of extraction. And we also discovered that Acalypha gave such antimicrobial ability on the test organisms that were used. In conclusion, 3 medicinal plants were identified as potential treatments for skin disease, and methanol extract of Acalypha showed an activity against all the organisms tested in this study and can serve as an alternative in treatment of skin diseases caused by bacteria and fungi. The recommendation is that more research is needed to isolate the compounds responsible for these activities. Then, in our work, we have over 5 ornamental plants that were collected and added to the Institute Jam Planting Ornamental Planting. 35 out of these sections were correctly identified, and we have over 7,000 ornamental palm seedlings in the floriculture garden, which includes fish plants, Estonia, and some other plants. We also have ornamental palm seeds that are ready for to go to the nursery also. Then we also, during the year, we have to establish a well-maintained ornamental palm orchard in the floriculture garden. I want to use this opportunity to tell everyone, in case you have photo shoots to do, you can come over to floriculture garden, come and take your photo shoot. But we are going to pay, we will pay for it. So, Acalypha extract was identified as potential treatment for common skin disease. And from this work, we're able to generate 6 journal articles and 5 and conference papers. We still have work ongoing on the field. And this is our program contact. So you can come there and have the nice result.
Thank you, honestly. Honestly, let's appreciate her very well. He has a lot of things to showcase. So let's appreciate her very well. Because we have spent for time. Thank you very much. 10 minutes. Dr. Otula.
Still standing on the existing protocol.
Thank you. Or less.
It's a continuum anyway. It's a report from Mushroom Mix. The title is Broadening Mushroom Genetic-Based Improved Production and Utilization in Nigeria for this 2023 research review. Now, in-house. The staff list and designation. The general objective is to collect mushroom species for germplasm expansion. Actually, as I've said, it's a continuous work. We have been having it since last year. We're able to get some germplasms which we're able to develop into protein bodies. Now, activity 1, development of innovative value-added products from fresh mushrooms. Now, I want to tell us something that mushroom unit has 2 parts: production and research. So the very first one I'm presenting is a collaborative work between mushroom unit and PDP. And I want to believe Mr. Mustafa is around, to shed more light in case questions come up as regards this. Now, the specific objective concerning this work is to add value to the mushrooms that we've been producing, then to look into the nutritional and chemical composition of the developed product, and eventually to evaluate the sensory properties of the products. Freshly produced mushroom were harvested and handed over to them, as a base for the work in terms of methodology. Then the mushroom were blanched, bleaching, a little cook in hot water and later on into cold water, just to harden the surface so that it can retain the juice as well. Now, that's the formulation. Development of mushroom cracker from what was gotten from us, then unripe plantain from markets. The formulation for the biscuits. Sorry, I know I don't have much time. From there too, so activity 3, mushroom tea was developed. That's methodology and the results. Now, this is the proximate composition of the cracker from blends of wheat, unripe plantain, and mushroom flour. Now, the sensory evaluation was conducted, and about 6 blends were produced. The first one was 100% wheat flour. The second one, 80% wheat flour, 10% plantain flour, and 10% mushroom flour. The third one, 70 wheat flour, 20 plantain flour, 10% mushroom flour, and the rest. Thereafter, these were the samples. Members of the IFC were invited for sensory evaluation. It's there anyway. Now, this is the mushroom tea produced from mushroom. Actually, 2 batches were produced. One washed, shredded, and untreated. The other one dried and treated. And the result continued. Now, from the result, vitamin C content was more in lemon-treated samples and significantly different from the untreated samples. The output now, because of my time, production of 6 variations of crackers. Then identification of 2 potential variants of antioxidants from oyster mushroom. Don't forget that we're talking about adding value to mushroom. So, conclusion and recommendation: newly developed mushroom-based soup powder can contribute to improved nutritional status of women. Then the cracker can serve an alternative to wheat-based sweeter cracker due to its improved nutritional quality. People do complain that wheat biscuits are too sweet, but when you lower the quantity and added mushroom, so it's really improved the taste and lower the sugar content. The cracker at 10% nutrition of mushroom with WPNA as the code was the best during the sensory evaluation program. Then activity 2, management of germ. Here, we need to regenerate often and often so that we don't lose the germ plastic. So we went for substrate sourcing, and we prepared our substrate, we inoculated after sterilization. Then we have to maintain the mushroom plus. Thereafter, we plated them on inoculated, and when we harvested, we do pack and send them to market, the marketing unit. And from there, our output, 560 bottles of mushroom planting material. We call them spawns, were generated, and 2,161 parts of fresh mushroom fruiting bodies, each weighing 80 grams and 200 naira per pack, were produced and sent to the marketing unit for sales. You can put two and two together to know the financial generation for the IGR. Then, activity 3, the characterization, which is the final part. Some of these germplasms were developed into fruiting bodies, and the physical characteristics were evaluated. We have Ostratus, we have Sagittarius pulmonarius. The cap has to do with the egg, the stalk is the same, then the queue just below the cap. Then the vulva is usually at the base. It's a tissue like a sac at the base of the mushroom. The annulus, we look at it now, is a ring by the stick of the mushroom, and the color as identified. Wow, no computer here. The methodology, newly collected mushroom germplasm were evaluated for suitable spawn and fruiting body substrate preference. Spawns were evaluated also, that's about 52 anyway, on wheat, on sorghum, then on millet. Fruiting body production were evaluated on waste paper as well, sawdust, mango, and oleander leaves. Actually, the brain behind that, when we go for our surface sources, we now pay heavily for sawdust and the wood shavings. So, looking at our environment, we have mango leaves, we have oleander leaves. We now consider using them as an alternative to wood shavings that we used to buy, at least to lower the cost of production. So at the end of the day, all the mushroom, they grew vegetatively on all the surface evaluated. But as regards the spawn, sorghum bicolor was the best preferred by virtually all our germplasms. And all the mushroom had lowest biological efficiency on polyartia. It took a longer time for this, they call it a common name is polystree, the leaves. It took a longer time to degrade. So we find it a bit difficult to a large extent to use it as an alternative, but all the same, at the end of the day, mushroom still grew on it. This is the result of the cellular growth of various mushroom with different types of spawn sources. And they have increased mushroom production, mushroom germplasm base, the availability of mushroom spawn and fresh fruiting body spawns, the IGI. Finally, to our challenges, no availability for ventures for production and research logistics. The insufficient funds. Sometimes ago we ran out of raw materials. We wrote letters, requests, and it took weeks before we could get from we have started production in the no availability of some vital equipment to aid research and production. So we brought the ED and members of IMC to help us consider this, look into it critically. They are our appreciation. Executive Director, members of IMC, Mushroom Minister, and I want to make mention of this. Earlier on, our ED made mention of Alajima as a wonderful friend to this evening. There's a woman too, named Abiola Bishop. She's a grower of mushrooms, she's a farmer. About less than 2 weeks ago, she was about traveling. She called Dr. Idowu and told me, what can I get for you as a grand mushroom? So we have to come with our bill for solving. I know, as a person related to Ijebu woman. Sorry to have said that, but anyway, the way to say it, releasing funds is somehow, but God has been using some of these people to bless us. That is why we not be coming to ask for money that's used to do. All the extended family members of the youth, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you, Matis, for trying to label our EG as anyway, that's okay. That's just to break the ice. Let's appreciate the presenters. I'm very sorry for putting you under pressure. We actually planned 20 minutes for your presentation, but because of time, so sorry for that. Sir, I go to the 3S and then the PD and the other.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The presenters. Interested in hearing you. Yes, the speakers have talked about different both media that were used for a certain purpose there. For culture, I don't know whether it's straight for us to go deeper than what the result. Now, one of the media did very well. He didn't tell us what was the reason or accuse any reason, excuse for it. I don't know. Because if you just stop there, it will not spur up the next level of research. It just, I don't know, I think that you want to write paper, I just will always add that. I don't know why we don't say it here. So that will spoil the next stage because you are inquisitive. Now, I appreciate the speaker that said that they had 6 publications from their research. I wonder why, why most speakers did not indicate the number of patients they did from the work. It just shows that if you do a research and you don't get published, you know that you have not finished your research and it's not good enough. So I don't know whether we are hiding it. So please, maybe somebody can answer that. You know, because that's what research. Well, that's what we talk about here. That's what is expected. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, Chairman, sir, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Yes, I think I followed the yes. Yes, we should know what we have published because the essence of any research is being published, and that's what you call PhD. If you do a PhD, I think some university abroad, if you don't publish, you don't even go to the next stage of your PhD. So I think maybe we'll make it as part of template. Maybe Chairman is subsequently moving forward to have the same pattern whereby when people are making presentation, we follow the same template so that whatever we want to see from it, the number of publications, the next line of action, what you have achieved, and all those things. I think we can come up with that one. Yes, I can assure you we have a very reliable and efficient times to come up with that very soon. For my own, I'm going to be brief, Mr. Chairman. I have a lot of things to do because I have all my favorites on the item. Starting from you, you are one of my favorites. So, Dr. I think that was the time I came to feed around 7:30. It was 7:45 to 7. I saw her with a nightgown in the farm. So since that day, I'm like a place. And 7:07, I saw her with nightgown and the slippers. So I was crazy. I was thinking, what's the problem there? And I saw the picture. I said, so I don't know. Maybe he was dreaming about the but it was fine, and I saw her addressing those things. So honestly, I really appreciate that process. And when I start saying that, I know we are moving to certain places. I think you remember that day. It's yourself and one or two of your staff. You came and you helped us. I was even busy with the person that blocked me. I never knew she was inside the institution. So it's a good one. But from the report we have now, what interests me most is that you said this, all these your indigenous vegetables, they are seasonal. In this era of research, output and public, we cannot plant it for the year. And we come further to tell us that their method of propagation is not known because they don't have seed. So I began wondering, what is the problem? Can't we concentrate our research in that area with the facility we have? We cannot plant it right yet. I'm ready to not accept that one for now. And if it's so, I think your department will look into that. Sorry, your program. And by the extension, the department will look into that. What can we do to doing our satellite on that. We cannot war and Dr. Musman and Co. They say you can propagate even the step or the leaf. So maybe similar thing can be happening to that. So use of seasonal and propagation of either seed or seedling. Yes, the research. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. So I think that's all right. And then you mentioned of the that's your elegant. I can't know in English. Sorry, or the botanical. You said what? Oh, Peter, well, you said the accession 6 is very promising. I think it's better you write the varietal release committee. And luckily you have a breeder there. Just write so that you can start taking work on that. We don't have to leave anything like filing down. We can be doing this simultaneously. If there's no money, we can always do for what we need to do. Thank you. Dr. Akipumi, I know you're a politician. You think you are reading the CV of your mentor, VC. I thought he has given you what we used to take together. Because we have one wine, we take it. So maybe I have given you that day. But today you repeated the same thing. You will have a sugar-coated mouth. When you are describing it for the country, I was wondering, is it not the foreign country you bring to my house? It's okay. And I look at that. No bother. But I want to tell you that when you are making that money for photos, don't forget my office. Just be sending the money. But to be fair to the program, I think floriculture deserves market. And then I will check that because in lifetime, Dr. Adebayo made a presentation here. They've been coming to ED office with cut flowers, but they never failed. Since when every Monday they come and replace it. Since that time, about 6 months ago. Honestly, during the time of their former agent, Dr. Akitoye and Dr. Chokan, and the present acquisition, Dr. Continue. The last time they brought it to UTB, I told you I have to dash out 2,000 naira. Because I asked them, please come. If they need for what you are bringing every month, and they say it's free of charge. So I wonder, you value the UTB. So the last time they came, I said, Madam, come and take this money. You need that she went to. So they've been consistent. So honestly, that program, they are perfect. But at the same time, let me put it on record. There is nothing that program has requested from us that we have not given them. So it's this for that. It's in the budget. Don't worry about that. So honestly, they've done well. And I really appreciate that. But what I need to say, I hope with all these things they are doing this fantastic work, we are collaborating with the GRE unit of the institute, so that these 2,000 seats you have, 7,000 that you may not speak, please let the GRE have. We know the Nigeria system. I'm sorry to say this. If they go on strike now, people observe it. We have the union, they are very, very, very strong. So that we don't lose all these things. I'm not crazy. But each time I sleep, I'm happy. The moment I remember there's something they must strike, honestly, I get sad. So let me preparing. I didn't say that going to strike, but whatever we have on my jump class, let us communicate here. And then I believe all the programs that are having alternative B, so that all these things we don't lose them. What I need to say is that you've done well, but we have to establish that all the achievements you have in the past, we have to capture them. It's a good work. And I believe you tell us the next thing, even though you didn't say it in the presentation. And then finally, Mr. Chairman, sir, on the yes, it's also a very good work we are bringing in the motion. Even though I cannot eat much food, I've been spending the money from much because they've been consistent since the beginning of this year in everything they have here. But what I need to say, Mr. Chairman, is very important. You are doing mushroom seasoning powder, which is more or less a spices. And we collaborated with ED so that it's also good to spices. Though they might look at, maybe they don't have anything to add, but I don't know. There should be some idea or knowledge of spices there that you may not have, they have. So there's need to collaborate with them just as collaboration with the PDP. And what I don't understand, maybe this is a question, is that the lemon filter sample. I don't know, you use lemon to grow it or you sprinkle lemon on it with the sprinkler. I say how? Say lemon filter sample. How do you treat lemon with, sorry, mushroom with lemon? So you need to explain that. I don't understand. And finally, Mr. Chairman, I want to tell Mr. Otula that yeah, something that is not talking to only the mushroomists. Those people that plant mushroom, I don't know, maybe they call it mushroomists or whatever. You don't describe it in good. Rather than showing us the picture, you need to show us the picture, but you keep on describing it. So please, next time, let us understand better by showing us the picture, so that some of us that didn't know get to know. Mr. Chairman, I'm happy with their presentation. It was fantastic.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, thank you. Dr. SOS. Okay, sir. And just summarize.
Thank you, Chairman. You've done well. But however, I can see that family system, you've lost data. Vegetable, you lost data. Your Kukumita say what? I didn't really know because you confused me. I didn't know the spelling again. In one slide, there will be C-U-R here, and another one there will be C-U-R. They are not consistent when it comes to the spelling. But I know the plant suppress weed, and you do not look to weed. The weed alone is enough for qualification. To control weed, different times, what type of weed does it control well? You just bring out papers from there. With my practical experience, Ebolo as Ebolo as seed. I know it, I've harvested it, and I've even sent it out of this country. So I know it as seed. Yes, sir, what I've said, this is where I'm going. The concentration of research here to be how to make it available generally. And let me assist you in this. What makes it to disappear is change in weather. If you can simulate the weather to that time when it's available, you can start that in greenhouse. And from there, you can the institute can say, okay, what is the humidity requirement? What is temperature requirement? So if you can simulate that, you can assist the country making it available year-round. You hang up your work on a cocoa peat, using of cocoa peat, etc. I said pepper, tomato cannot grow in this medium, but temperia can grow. You did not tell us why you think so, and why is temperia performing, and pepper and others are not performing. So that one is the main thing. Floriculture. Your first study, 10 seed is too small. If you write anything on that and it's being sent to me, I will ask you to repeat the work. 10 seed, irrespective of how small or how big the seed is.
4 out of 85, it's not 10, it's 4.
So, and it is your second trial, maybe you realize that your second trial is 20 seeds. Maybe average is manageable, but it should be more than even 20. Having this problem, you can lift up with other research institutes how to knife for example, stimulate their seed. We have a special way, humidity chamber that assists them in, and that's why they said orphan seeds. So you can do that instead of waiting 6 months or this and waiting it here and there. So, but one important thing to me for now is your description of your garden, the snapshot area. I've noted that for action.
For revenue.
I didn't say that, sir. You see that, sir. Mr. Odula, is this mushroom you are talking about? Is it the same thing you are serving in 5-star hotels as a starter? Then that is great. But you didn't say anything about mushroom soup. But because that's the main thing. And it's expensive. I know that. So, if that, is there any chance of looking into that? The IGR2 is noted. I did a bit of calculation, 200,000. That's money from that small people. I think we need to look into that. And I would like to say this boldly, that from about your unit, from whom much is collected, much will be given. Thank you.
He's not my friend.
Thank you, Mr. I will start by thanking all the presenters. According to one of our comedians, he will say, it isn't easy. I would like to call your attention, the vegetable woman, Dr. Kimberi. Whenever you are presenting any scientific report, don't use only local names. You must add the botanical or biological names, because all you have described, I will just say, you say it is good for people who know the language to know. There must be botanical name, because Warawa may mean something else somewhere else. So that is what you should take note. Secondly, your pumpkin. You were showing us all the analysis. This is so much percent. This. Have you ever thought about the acceptance from people? Some people buy pumpkin because of the taste. Some are soft, some are hard. You can even eat it like yam. I like it. I like it. The type that you cook, you eat it like yam because it's not soft. If you go to the north, they use it to do sauce or soup, to use to eat, to wash kafa. So all these things you have to take note. If you take the one that looks like yam to the north, they may not prefer it. They will prefer that one that you can easily pound and it will be good to eat wood. If you come to the east, they will prefer that one that when you cook, it's like yam. In fact, you are eating it, you think you are eating yam. All these things you have to take into consideration. Then, in your data, there is a place you wrote, you used tea. You used tea to show various assertions. This one, it was used for pepper. Was it not you? The other one was used for tomato. I think it's you. Why don't you separate them? When you say tea, I'll be thinking towards tomato. If you come to pepper, you are still using tea because you line them in one table. It's not good. Use another letter to represent the examine them. Which of the tea are you talking about? You won't know. That's all I have for you. Then, my friend in floriculture, I nearly said that I gave you some wine. No, I didn't give her some wine, but she knows how to present her case. So that was a nice one. Only that the fan bar, find a way to make it to grow faster. That should be your research point, because we know it doesn't grow fast. But find a way, if it's to use insulin, whatever, that will make it grow faster. Because as tough as it is, so also is the price. You know that. So it's important. Dr. Otunla, have you ever tried to grow Demisomyces? Debidomyces. That's mushroom, that beautiful, large, body. It's a very nice mushroom. It has been difficult to grow, but of late, a way has been found out to grow it. Maybe later come and meet me. We discuss. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Wakuma, and lastly, so that we can very fast. Okay.
Thank you. Question and observation goes to Dr. Akinpelu. I want to observe, maybe I didn't read so well, to talk about the growth media for Telferia. You mentioned sawdust and spent mushroom compost. And I think you recommended that, or you concluded that spent mushroom compost was better because it was about 10 days. And I want to say that I did a lot of work on sawdust. I'm showing that by 5 to 7 days, your temporary seedlings are already out. So this conclusion, maybe you need to recheck that work to be sure of what you want to say, especially when you want to publish the work. That's one. Then the second thing, you also use cocoa beet for some of your pepper and your tomatoes. I want to ask, and you concluded that cocoa beet was good. Yes, I want to ask, did you apply any foliar or micronutrients or whatever on it? Because I know that if you use compost, you use a cocoa beet, ordinarily for it to do well, germination is fine, but for your seedling to do well, you have to support it with some other things. Then to Mr. Otula, we've been giving you okra charts. I didn't see the results here. I collected okra charts over time as an alternative source for your substrate. You have collected amaranthus dead seeds of okra, of amaranthus, of pepper. So I want to see the result, please.
Thank you very much. And because of our time, I will just ask you to respond. Because once upon a time, there was a time that we used to stay here at 10 p.m. when we used to have in-house review. But because of security situation now, we need to change the paradigm. Putting pressure on one to go home, it was not like this before. Well, thank you very much. So just respond briefly, so we can close this session. Oh. Okay, so you can talk about. I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Akinpelu, in your studies on dimension of testing, you made a generalized recommendation I think you need to look further into that. Because I don't seem to agree. Some of them, by 5 days, they already emerged, not just having terminated. And that depends on the line you are using. You know, we have different types of surveillances. Some big, some small, some, you know, they follow people stage follow and so on and so forth. They with each other. So you have to know people that, and just like your Patiyemi said, you know, the Warawa is indigenous. So for you to grow well, you need to simulate similar environment. It does happen with most indigenous vegetables. If you're able to simulate the similar environment where it thrives, then you have it. So there's nothing that says you cannot grow it to a year. When I was a vegetable, that was my goal. 12 years, 12 months, all year vegetable. So we can also do it. Thank you.
Okay, let's move.
Thank you very much. I want to rush to, there are some of the comments that are almost the same thing. The reason for media use, sir, I will say in comparison with the conventional sawdust, the mushroom spent compost, the makeup is richer, is full of nutrients more than ordinary sawdust, in that millet is mixed with sawdust, and there are some beneficial organisms, fungi, that mushroom itself is fungi. So I know most of them are beneficial. So probably that would be the reason for enhanced growth of some of the crops in spent mushroom compost. And I want to also say that we are having a maximum of or minimum of 2 conference proceedings from this work. We promise publication in form of journals anytime from now, by the grace of God. Then, in terms of all year round production of all these indigenous crops, yes, this has been one of our requests. That is, if we can get a greenhouse, these are things we can do. We can do so much all year round. We'll be able to simulate the weather and we'll be able to produce much more. So also the experiment on cucurbita species, we had weed data. Although this was handled by Dr. Taiwo, and I believe very soon all this will be published by the grace of God. Then all other comments were noted as to maybe growth media or cucurbita species. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Concerning the growth media, topsoil and sawdust, at the initial stage, the seeds, they did very well because of the aeration sawdust that makes the seed germinate. But as time goes on, the nutrients are not enough to sustain the growth of the seed. And so, topsoil was mostly better. They should want to see better at the end. Then, thank you so much for your support all the way. We are very grateful, sir. Then, concerning the 10 seeds, actually, we use 10 seeds, 10 red seeds. That is what we do. Making 100 seeds. So we use 10 red seeds. Then, for the 20 seeds, we use 5 red seeds. Then, also linking up with other certificates and next year, my is noted that. Then also the comment concerning the farm process.
Thank you very much for the comments and questions. Let me quickly respond to those that sound mine. But Dr. Monso appreciates you. But during the last auditing, apart from other papers, I presented a paper on one of the charts. I think you can hear me. Amaranth chart. So it was a paper one of the papers I presented there. And Your Excellency, through the years, it wasn't intentional anyway. was an oversight. There were publications, from some of these experiments. At least the one we presented at LAUTECH is one of the results from the experiment. Then Dr. Ume Thanatomiasis. Dr. Luana, we saw that there is a synergy between thanatomiasis and planetarium. We found it very, very difficult. But some months ago, we were trying to experiment, combining planetarium with some of our substrates. We've been able to get the sperm. But inoculating it on the substrate is problematic. But work is still ongoing. Keep on praying for us, we shall be there. Then, no publication, I think about 10 years ago. Then as regards the usage of lemon, I wish Ms. Balkis is here. She's not around. I learned she's on leave. She's a very first person to explain that. So, I think at this level, I rest my case. Thank you.
Privilege, but I have one request. Just 1 minute. Because we are here for education, and this Dr. Alamu say has something very critical I want to share with us. Please.
Thank you, the chairman. Thank you, the ED and the ES. Please, sir, there is one thing we're supposed to know about the use of sawdust. You cannot use sawdust this year and enjoy the benefit of the sawdust this year, depending on the usage. Sawdust has low CN ratio, and it is going to use the nitrogen in the soil to dissolve itself. So, and that is going to take like 3 months, if not more than that. So, before mineralization will take place, it is aftermath. That is just what I want to say.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate the presenters for the privilege. And I thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity to share this session. Thanks to the ED. 2 things are very important. This is a self-value group. I have 2 things to say from here. Allah Radobaraga, you say that one. And the vegetable woman also said, see Allah Baba Fosil Lori Roku. So thank you very much.
Can we please celebrate them? Can we celebrate them? Thank you so much, Chairman. Thank you so much for presenting. It has been a wonderful time. Quickly, we will not want to waste our time as we move to the next presentation. And this time around, we want to invite our chairman for this section, that is Dr. S.O.S. Akin. You're welcome, sir. And quickly, we want to invite the presenters for this section, Seed Technology Research, and that is Mr. O.A.A. Olumide. You're welcome. And quickly, the rapporteur for that will be Mrs. C.O. Akinleye. And also about technology, that will be taken by Mrs. Oluyemi. Oluyemi C. Olagunju. And the rapporteur for that will be Akinyola O. And quickly, we also want to introduce another presenter, Genetic Resource Unit Research, and that will be taken by Mr. A.U. Osho. You're welcome, sir. And the rapporteur for that will be Mrs. Amen H.A. You're welcome. Over to the chair.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Following the existing protocol, whoever throws stones in the bucket. No, in this case, so I'm saying that to the MC. You said we should reduce the time. Even if others are using 20 minutes, I'm going to use 5 minutes. Your time starts now.
Standing on existing protocols, this is the composite thing, and we've been proclaiming now that administering new tomato varieties, but then how will the seed get to the farmers? And that is one of the activities that we did. We ensure that we produce breeder seed for the 3 new tomato varieties. And in our production, of course, we will have some elements of research. And just as we observed on the farmer fields during the trials leading to the release of the tomato varieties, we discovered that Auditum 1 was the earliest flowering and also the highest yielding. The total seed yield for all the Auditum 1, Auditum 2, Auditum 3 was 1.26 kg, while the marketable fruit yield was 172 kg. We however observed Auditum 3 did not perform well, and this suggests that the variety may not be suitable for dry season production, and we have in mind to repeat this. Here is a picture of the Auditum 1 on the field, and others are behind. You have the pictures of the Auditum 1 fruit, Auditum 2, Auditum 3. This is a recurrent activity we do in the seed technology unit, variety maintenance, seed increase of selected vegetables, because everyone will always want true to type crops. You give them a seed, you tell them the leaves will be green. They don't want to see colorations on the leaf. And so in the seed tech unit, we ensure we maintain the integrity of the institute. In fact, we pride ourselves as the quality control for the seeds that come out from the unit. And this helps to maintain the purity level of selected crops that have been purified. And this cuts across pepper, the bawa, the rogu pepper, the shongo pepper. And for those of us during the tea break, you will find out they have seeds of these crops available for sale. We don't also work alone. At the Nile headquarters, we were able to produce over 200 kg of seed of amaranthus, celery, coconut, okra, pepper, tomato, celteria. And we also where we were able to produce a total of 172 kg for us, and from Gombe, 40 kg. The breakdown is as stated there. And we believe, like we said earlier on ESR, that our work does not just stay in research publications and on the shelf. We have to reach out to people. The unit was involved with the Institute on intervention programs during the year under review in distributing seeds of amaranthus, okra, and tomato to farmers. And by the time we did evaluation of the seeds given out, close to 500,000 naira. The first was to farmers during the visit of the former Honorable Minister of Agriculture, and the second was to flood victims for them to resuscitate their economic lives in the South. And lastly, to the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA farmers. And here we have farmers receiving from the Honorable Minister, and of course our ears wonderfully there. We also believe in the seed technology unit that we must always build capacity. And we do this not just for farmers. We will not just take care of outsiders. Like they say in my local parlance, you cannot carry other people's food on your head and drive yours back behind. So our capacity building practice was for in-house, for our staff in the unit as a training method, and for other staffs who have seen the quality where we produce seeds in the seed technology unit, and we collaborated with them and their staff to train them on proper vegetable seed production. These were our facilitators. Like I said earlier, we don't work alone. From the product development program, from the farming systems, from extension, even to the Earth Consult. We had all from the pathology, we had people who came to train farmers. We had 23 farmers, including staff of ADP, from Oshu, Ogun, Oyo, and Lagos. 8 participants from other programs and units, and they were from the vegetable program, extension program, the genetic resources unit, and the farm management, and all the staff in the seed technology units. We did a pre and post-test assessment to really know the idea that they have already on vegetable seed production. And we also have focus group discussions among the participants. At the end of the training, we asked them, instead of to evaluate ourselves, we had the trainees give an evaluation of this training. And the least mark anyone gave us was 65%, and the highest mark was 90%. So we see it's an average of 82.5%. Notwithstanding, we had them give some more assessment. It was a 2-day training, and then they said they would prefer to pay 100,000 naira for them to come to Nile for a 5-day training. We thought they wouldn't be able, and this is coming from farmers. They said we could pay the funds, you please just make the facilities available to train us. They wanted wider coverage of advertisement for this kind of training, and of course, time management. Yes, these are pictures from the National Agricultural Seed Council and our ED. And on the right side there, you have pictures of participants during the training. And we had them, we had practical trainings, everyone got their hands wonderfully clean. Activity 4, evaluation of different chemicals for seed extraction. Oftentimes we have people who call us, they're trying to get some seeds and they are finding it difficult for those seeds germinating. So we started this activity on selected tomato varieties. And it's to identify the best chemical for seed extraction while retaining high viability. We use UC82B, Otiform-1, and Ellistone, and these are generally used by farmers, and of course, our own latest introduction. And these are the treatments that we use. The experiment is still ongoing. The next activity is a recurrent activity also in the unit, seed quality evaluation. Oftentimes people will call, we bought your seeds and it didn't germinate, and then we'll tell them where to improve. And so you find out they didn't actually buy Nile seeds. But what gives us the confidence that they actually did not buy Nile seeds? This is an activity we do every time in the unit, seed quality testing. Via seed germination, seed emergence, physical purity, moisture content. We conduct this regularly on all our seeds, and we do this when we do not have enough materials. We ensure we do it at least every other month. And we also, again, we collaborate because we are a service unit servicing every program available within the institute. We get seeds from the GRB to test, seeds from the vegetable, spices, farming systems program to test, and this covers varieties of crops, from pepper to pumpkin, to eggplant, to coconuts, to arvingia, and we do all these things. Also, the seeds we use for on-farm trials, we also test them before we dispatch them to farmers who collaborate with us. We are very privileged in the seed technology unit to have the principal investigator of the CAFASI project, which was earlier mentioned by the ED, donate 2 new equipment which the unit greatly needs. And interestingly, he is the immediate past head of unit. We want to say a very big thank you to you, sir. A digital oven and a seed incubator. And these are the equipment when they came. And I can tell you they are working in perfect conditions and they have been helping us in our work. Here is a picture of participants at the seed training, and a statement I'd like to say, it wasn't important. It is live. We show them practically how to do seed testing, emergency test, and all that is involved in vegetable seed production. Of course, whatever it is we do, we must always publish. In the course of the year, we had articles in 4 conference proceedings and 2 journal publications. Permit me to please stop here. There are wonderful faces from the seed technology unit. Always delighted, no matter how long they spend on the field. Thank you for your kind attention.
These guys, they master of speed. Exactly 10 minutes. And you give me a round of applause. Exact 10 minutes.
Protocol. I am here to see Oladudu, and I'm representing the biotechnology research. At the biotechnology unit, our job is to provide an alternative means of cultivation of some specific types of crops, especially the recalcitrant ones. And our molecular unit serves as a service unit to every other unit and program in the institute. So these are staff. Okay, now our first activity was to check the fidelity of Telferia occidentalis, which has been planted via tissue culture. For example, people ask us, when you plant in test tubes and you culture and subculture after 4, 5, 6 times, are you sure it's still the same plant that you brought in that you're bringing out? Most farmers do not trust the process. They believe something has changed, that there will have been a mutation in the process. So the experiment, the objective is to check if the plant that was brought in, the parent plant, is still the same plant that is being taken out onto the farm. Because during the period of subculturing, there will have been some variations through, and this occurs when there is stress on the plant. So there's possibility of variation. So we check on each plant, and this time around we check on Telferia occidentalis. The experiment was done in 2 stages. First stage was the tissue culture stage, whereby we planted and we subcultured 5 times. However, after each subculture, genetic fidelity testing was being done on the plants. DNA was isolated, and it was amplified to PCR, and then it was analyzed. So these picture, this gel picture shows, okay, I will explain. The bars, the first dot shows the parent plants, and then the next 3 dots represent the first subculture. The next 3 represent the third, and then the next represent the 5th. If you see that there's a straight line, so there's no variation. When this picture shows through 2 primers, 10 primers were used. This is just a representation of the experiment. Okay, so now we were able to conclude that the plants, the parent plant, and the subcultures had the same genetic fidelity. There was no variation all through the 5 stages of subculture. Now we go to the second activity, which is the optimization of protocol for in vitro planted citrus sinensis. Okay? Now we know that citrus is a plant that grows slowly. It has a short storage life, and then is susceptible to a lot of diseases. Okay, so this experiment is aimed at developing a standard protocol for the generation of the plants in the laboratory. Okay, so as the methodology, the plants were collected when the fruits were bought from the marketing unit, and then the seeds were extracted and cultured. The table here shows the methodology. Some of the seeds were scarified and some were not. And then some of the seeds, hormones was applied and some hormones were not applied. We were able to compare the difference in hormone application and in control, and also to compare if scarification had anything to do with faster germination. And to the conclusion, we're able to conclude that the plant develops better without hormone, and the ones that were cultured with hormone developed more slowly, and then the ones that were scarified had faster growth and developed more shoots and roots. Now to my third activity, which is the optimization of protocol for the micro-propagation of pineapple. The pineapple used in this stage was sugarloaf, because we already worked on smooth tying. Sugarloaf is a species of pineapple, which we all know has a very sweet flavor. It has a very good flavor, and it tastes very nice, and then it's small, which makes it very suitable for export. So it's highly needed because they use it in the production of concentrates, and industries need it for juice production, and it's also needed for export. So we want to derive a protocol whereby it can be grown in the laboratory, and then we can develop large quantity for planting. Okay. The sugarloaf slips and crowns were collected from fruits department from Mr. Ali Matthew and Mr. Damnari of the fruit department, and then the slips were excised and they were defoliated and they were planted. This table shows the composition of the media that was used. We varied the hormones. Some we added NAA, some IAA, and then a combination of both in order to know which had the best result. And the outcome, okay, this is a picture of when it was being subcultured after the first planting. The outcome showed that the combination of NAA and IAA at a ratio of 1 to 0.5 gave the best output for the in vitro pineapple planting. The research is still ongoing as we plan to move to the next stage, which is production, which is the multiplication of the sugarloaf, which will be getting the extracts from fruits and from Dr. Ikisoye. The fourth activity is the macro propagation of plantain using split technique. The objective of this research is that we want to have a way whereby we can have our own source of suckers for tissue culture, because we realize that most of the suckers we get from the field are always infected and dirty. So we want to have our own source of suckers whereby we can just pick from our own mini screenhouse using tissue culture. So, and then we designed our own mini propagator whereby we use split method where the corn will be divided into subsections and each section will be allowed to regenerate again. Okay, so we were able to use about 400 mature healthy plants, and we developed a temporary structure where we were able to propagate it using the split method. And the outcome was that, okay, the outcome. Okay, so this is a diagram showing the plants when they were still in the juvenile stage and the weeks until maturity. A total of 1,200 LD plantains has, okay, with some of them fruits department to re-establish on the field, while the others were retained for tissue culture activity. Thank you for listening.
We have fantastic presenters. These are performing time beyond our expectations.
Good evening, everyone. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I'm making the presentation on behalf of the entire Genetic Resources Unit. My name is Jesu Akukwe. This is the composition of staff in the unit currently. We have 20 staff. The unit is headed, or rather, subsumed under the Department of Vegetable and Floriculture, and that is headed by Dr. Ido. The unit before we go ahead, the unit basically starts with conservation and management of horticultural resources, genetic resources, which is the key to fulfilling the Institute's mandate for genetic improvement and other allied research. We do characterization, we do acquisition of germplasm, targeted at accessing gene pools for breeding and other allied research. We also carry out active distribution and sharing of genetic resources to enhance their utilization in breeding, both within the institute and outside with other stakeholders. Now, we had certain activities, about 6 activities that were outlined in the past year under review. This took off after management had facilitated the reactivation, or rather the rejuvenation of the gene bank and made it active. Now, we started by doing viability testing of seed germplasm that we had in storage. This is a routine activity that is carried out to ensure the safety of materials under conservation. We use that to provide a basis for setting priorities of which materials we needed to start regenerating because of the conditions they were previously in. In all, throughout the year, we tested up to 675 accession seed lots, and ordinarily, the regeneration threshold is 75%, but because of the situation we're in, we could save as much as we can. So we took anything that was less than 50% to the field immediately. The second activity drew from that. We regenerated and evaluated germplasm of eggplant. 129 accessions which were below that threshold. We did characterization and yield evaluation using 36 phenotypic traits. We also did phytochemical evaluation on this germplasm set to determine the iron, calcium, vitamin C, steroids, alkaloids, and flavonoid contents of the fruits and leaves to enhance their use in breeding and other allied research across the institute. We also did taxonomical determination of presumed botanical identities because there were so many mistakes, apparently, which we had suspected. This is the selected representation of materials of eggplant that are in that collection. This is just a very small subset of the whole. Activity 3 is on grain amaranth. We're trying to see how we can access the genetic diversity we have available for grain amaranth to enhance their use. We tested 30 accessions of grain amaranth that we have in the gene bank. We used about 28 phenotypic descriptors. The experiment is actually just being harvested and the seed processing is ongoing. We plan to do nutritional analysis on the grain amaranth seeds subsequently. In activity 4, this is an activity that we actually are doing in collaboration with programs and units across the institute. We're doing inventories of existing materials. A lot of programs have been with us and we've been on this, particularly the floriculture, fruits program, citrus program. We've been working together and it's actually an ongoing work because it is painstaking and mistakes must not be made. We have identified conservation gaps that we have proposed to management that will inform subsequent exploration and collection of germplasm. We also documented an additional 300 accessions in the gene bank database. This image is not so clear, but it's an image of a part of the mango orchard, the part that is adjacent to floriculture garden, opposite the citrus main orchard. The fruits program had actually done a very detailed inventory of that orchard. We worked with them, and we tried to put it here in a schematic diagram that we would digitize subsequently. This is what we're going to do for all field germplasm subsequently, with all the programs. This will allow, when it is digitized, it will allow you at the touch of the button, you'll be able to tell where you can find any particular crops, like tree crop species, any particular variety at the touch of the button across the institute. And even we could extend that to the substations. As part of the activity, we also looked at ways of making the materials that we have documented more accessible to users. Currently, the gene bank records are maintained in Microsoft Excel, which is a basic program on the standalone computer we have. But we're looking at integrating the gene bank information in web-based platforms that are currently run by the Crop Trust. These resources are free, and they actually remove whatever cost the institute would need to run such a system on its own. We're in that process. Those two resources are Genesis and Great Global Community Edition. These two programs are used by gene banks to manage that gene bank information, make it accessible to users across the world, and even allow people to make requests and interact with the gene bank. We've taken some steps towards that, and we are working with management, seeking approval to go ahead to work with them. Activity 5. As I mentioned, the work we're doing to document field germplasm, especially with the fruit program and the citrus program, we on our own part, we're just trying to take some steps to make sure that we can multiply materials that might be at risk of loss. We know that they do have the capacity, but as the genetic resources unit, we are looking at augmenting those efforts. And we currently have about 1,000 rootstock seedlings established. And we're working with them to grab and board those materials that are at risk of loss. We also are working with the fruits program actively to explore diversity of indigenous mango genotypes as a source of rootstock material and even production materials themselves. Now, we also have the issue of germplasm integrity when you are regenerating. Integrity in terms of genetic makeup, when you're trying to avoid crossing, also in terms of disease. We have designed 2 modular field cages. This is what has been constructed. And if you look at the image on the left, that's from the outside. It's quite simple. It's a frame of galvanized pipes overlaid by UV tolerant insect nets. This is the inside on the right. This modular design can be extended for as long as your field. So that is just a prototype, and it was actually constructed by staff in the institute, designed by our engineer in the GRE, constructed by the people in the mechanical control. We have our routine operations, which, as I mentioned, we actually have our storage equipment working in perfect order, and as much as power availability allows, our storage equipment and the environments are okay for storage. Now, here is just a summary of the materials available for distribution to users both within the institute and outside. People have been coming from within using the materials. The table shows what is available and the quantities we can give. There are some of them that we cannot distribute now because we've scheduled them for regeneration. These are bulk commercial seeds that were deposited, and these materials are actually for commercial use. They can be accessed only through the seed technology unit or the horticonsult. Now, we also were able to attend to germplasm requests over the past year, and we had a fulfillment rate of 73%. That's something that we have not achieved before. You can see that okra is the most requested germplasm, and we were also able to fill all requests for okra. Tomato, we responded as much as we could, and generally that's it. We want to appreciate the management led by the CEO and the IMC, RRPC, our monitoring and evaluation, fellow scientists, support staff. We thank you all for working with us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, our presenters. I thought we are getting. Please, we are just going to give 2 people time to ask questions. And out of the 2 people, it's automatic for ES. It's only if ES is not asking questions. No, overrule. No, overrule. Yes, sir. Mike.
Thank you, thank you, presenters also. Please, with regards to technology,
thank you.
I want to find out how does NIO take care of the needs of the farmers that plant, for instance, tomato in the northern part of the country? Do you think those that have problems come to you, that is from the Gawa, Kano, that access? That's one. Then, do you have, apart from the stations, because sometimes at Abuja there, people just stroll in and come and find out where they can get viable seeds. Maybe someone can tell me where you have outlets where people can go and buy original seeds, not be deceived. Maybe this would not be that good, but I realized that this is a review meeting where we should have had farmers asking questions. But it's like I've not seen any farmer here. But the purpose of it is for you to interact with them, challenge you, and to affect them. We are only doing ourselves here, doing science, academics, and being paid government money for the so but we need to affect them. I'm not, I think that you answer that question. Processors who are going to take up these technologies, who are going to find out please do this way, it will help us. They are not here, they're not asking any questions. Okay. Okay, let me just stop it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That's the second question.
I'm lucky I'm not overruled.
No, sir. Indeed, you.
We are under inflation. Thank you, yes. The 3 observations you made, they are made. And I can tell you authoritatively, sir, that if farmer
has problem, where did they run to? And I have a lot of these colleagues which frustrate this reply I'm going to say. When Twitter happened, as we are here in the 9th year, we are 4 years ago. And that happened with then Dr. Bad was the present HOD family system now. It was on assignment on the survey, baseline survey, collaboration between NIHOS and Oxford Nigeria. Go for this survey on the value addition of tomato manufacturing. And he got to the peak with Abu. I think you should be looking at us online now. And they detected some farmers seeing strange things with their tomato. And it was on that feed they called it, okay, there is a problem. So to tell you that if anything happens, even in the far eastern part of the country, that's the northeast. We are there now today. We have that one thing. And tomorrow we're going to see their presentation. So as far as time was, I don't know, maybe Dr. Batman can still recollect the name of that place. We were the first to know. So we have our startup and they so rest in peace. That fine, gentle, great researcher who happened to be our influence at that time, Dr. Chikalike, even sent me a clip. I had to take this book, whereby he went into Interland to have interaction with medical farmers. When these things were coming out, even the tell magazine baby that I think when I maybe tomorrow morning I can bring it to you. Dr. Chikalike of blessed memory intervened with most of the farmers. So what saying we are not everywhere, God is everywhere. God is omnipresent and omniscient, omnipotent. But there is an omnibus arrangement in that one. Whereby whatever happens with our mandate for we get to know. Honestly, this is why I'm not Dr. Ikume in this case, who has a but I can tell you authoritatively, honestly, we have our system when we buy the go. And the second another example, the former HOD for extension, yes, Dr. Mrs. F.D. Electric Highway, when we had the issue of opera para, before we know it, I told the organ there are people are calling me across Nigeria. I don't know where they have their platform. And I was in the office when we formed the committee. So honestly, this is not Dr. Ikume's talking. We have a system whereby we have a platform where we but that is honestly we have and before we know it, Dr. Wagman is there who has to be the chairman of the security. They have people from Lagos in Niger State and all. So I must say that we know how to take care of that one. And finally, say I'm going to say 3 things. We also have a platform of IDPs, agricultural development programs. We have all the contacts, and if anything happens, along the value chain of the management problem. That is why they must stop. And when they told them, they have how to connect with this our extension. We are wonderful in that area. I'm not Dr. Ikume. Was telling me why I used to see every day. I have to pay me back come and give me job. On the second note is that our outlets, I know we are efficient in that, but I can tell you, ARCI is now in the process of collaborating with Dr. Edika, this former Human Resources Director, Edika. The former, before Haji Mahmoud, no, not before Haji Mahmoud, the one that yes, is in charge of that, and he has written to us, discussed with us that, sorry, discussed not written yet, that we need to come and establish our outlet at ARC. Just as that people who come to us for seats. So I promise you I'm going to send Dr. Soon to him, so that we can finalize that arrangement. So it's going to be in your domain. I will come and go to the outcome for Abuja so that we can now talk of sharing. And the third one you asked was farmers that they are not here. Yes, it's just only we have been economical with it. We call this one AA house. Yes, AA house. Because of paucity of funds and some other exigencies that will not allow us to do it. But for next year, February, they want to come back. We have a farmer business plan because of paucity of funds and new approach of accessing money from federal government and this bottom-up approach now. We are just using it. That's why we postpone some of our programs next year. So yes, so we got this one in-house because the budget we are using for this was almost 1/3 of what we planned because of the system. So by February, March next year, we're going to have this gathering. But for last year, I think we have certain programs. Even 2 or 3 state commissioners of agriculture and many farmers. So I think I think on that one, Mr. Chairman, I will suspend all my discussion because I'm the one to pay me down. So I will not put them on the spotlight again, but I must say they are smart guys. Almost all of them are well presented, and honestly, my heart is with them. Honestly,
Okay, because it is just answered ES question, so we still have one opportunity. So let me not use let me not pay back. Dr. Adetula, your comment. Oh, thank God. Now I have my questions. Yes, I want to ask my question. Will you keep quiet power of the mind? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. There are wonderful events that the ED has said. I just want a few comments here. Like what top 3? He said the performance on the field is not, maybe it's a greenhouse variety. Let's look to that too. Well, 200, 10,000 naira, they are ready to pay 10,000 naira for 1 week's training. I think they will have it. 100,000, yes, that's what I said. I think they will. Anyway, I get my money now, I'm okay. So, but the HCl, H2, SO4 for seed, we should be very careful. That's just what I have. Silviculture, I think it's better you consult literature very well. 5 subculture will not give any variation, but when it's going to 9, 11, you can start expecting. So it will not really score well with 5 subculture. And writing it out, we have question mark. Then after taking, and then we should look into hardening. Beef will not be a good alternative as a source of explant because you have getting plant materials as source. It's better you go into literature and know how to clean your materials. And taking in 400, you said you generated 1,200 through beef. I want to ask from how many plants, and I discovered that it was 400 plants. 1,200 divided by 400 is 3 plants from each source. It's a waste of energy. There is need. So cleaning is the most important thing. Sir, marketing outlets, we've had that. We'll work on it. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving us your time. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Let's a round of applause for Dr. SOS Akiyemi. Now we go to the final session for this afternoon. Sorry. The left in back, Dr. O.O. Oyedele is the chairperson for this session. Please a round of applause for her as she comes off stage. The Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation Unit, Dr. I.O. Amaru. Please can you come forward? Information and Documentation Department, Dr. B.O. Fakolama. A round of applause for her. The rapporteurs for this session are Mr. D.E. Paul and Mr. Adeyi. These are the rapporteurs for the session. We hand over to the chairperson, Dr. Oyedelema.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Still sitting on the established protocol. We'll be taking these two presentations now. The first one is coming from PM and E, and the second one from information. Tell us of the activities. Just give us the capital budget. There's a table there. Give us the key issues and give us the achievements. 10 minutes should be okay. Remember, baby Paul is at home.
I would like to kind of like anything protocol. My name is Mikel Luakwa.
Please, the rapporteurs to join me here.
Yeah, team member, planning team member, there's a 16-man group, officers, ranging, planning officers, other representation of the department. Have a mission to facilitate effective planning, monitoring, and evaluation, institutes, research projects, and other activities within available resources to achieve sustainable economic development and improve livelihood for cultural stakeholders. Well, we do monitoring, annual budget, and the other technical strategies and operational plans of businesses. 2022 capital projects, we were funded 94.3% of the appropriation amount. We had 12 research projects, 2 procurement-related projects, 4 training-related, and others, taking a total of 28 budget lines for 9 households in the year 2022. I mean the capital budget for 2022, which has spilled over in 2023 and up to May 2023. One key achievement of the department was the needs assessment that we carried out on the instance of the executive director. And this output of this is being used in 2024 budget as to develop a 2024 budget. We have to monitor complete projects, and then we have some statutory activities that we do. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture comes around for statutory monitoring. Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget for National Planning also comes around. So we have to get all those documents. We have to prepare documents for the ALCN, and we have to prepare documents for the House of Representatives. The most recent one was general overview of the institute presented to the House of Rep Committee and the Cultural Collective and Institution. That is just 10th National Assembly. As an overview, most projects and programs, research programs and projects, have the activities we proposed for the year and what they achieved. Overall, 50% of our projects and programs had their activities proposed, they achieved, they're most ongoing anyway. But some people still didn't stay by the norm. Most people will say, I want to do 5, and then they do 7, and then they're like, what they initially proposed, we don't do. And then along the line, we include new projects. This is not good for 9 months as a whole. Because we were leaving the budget at the budget proposal stage. We say, okay, now we want to do 20 things. And then we come back and we say we are doing 18 out of 20 and then 3 others from the group. This does not help us in monitoring and effective selection of our funds. So all that talks about different projects, programs, I don't want to go all this long list. And then some people at initial stage again would not consider the units in the program. If you have asked to do a budget for your program, please consider all the units in the program. Everything is in that program, bring it up as well. And then it can be funded depending on money available at the very point in time. All these are still times of number of activities now. And what's our recommendation? We keep feeding and letting us to ensure timeliness of our food activities. Sometimes the funds come late, yes, federal government has a role to play in that. But then on our own part as researchers, as programs, units, projects, you should please endeavor that when you receive your funds, you go to the field straight up and do what you're supposed to do with funds. As I was saying, please ensure timeliness of food activities so that we can achieve our project deliverable within the specified time frame. Also, our projects and programs should please comply with the earlier proposed activities. You can't say this too much because it's been occurring over time and we keep bleeding and bleeding. But we come for monitoring, we don't want to see different proposal than the one you submitted earlier. If there could be variations, there should be reasons for just slight differences and not total change or somehow 75% changes. That destabilizes us and then we can't really monitor. We start working for answers to questions and it should not be the case. Yeah, please beg you. One of a major challenge is sharing of information from scientists. Please and please. When I see you go tell ED or some plan and say, I'm also submit a report tomorrow morning. They will start going about project one, project two, program this, program that. Please help us. I think it's not our fault when it comes that way. It's a transfer of the different lines of our activities. And people you have boss and then different lines like that. So it depends on when the information gets to us. When it gets to us, we speak into action, we come to you. So please endeavor to give us the information as at when you way forward. We say the need for continuous cooperation with society. Can't say this too much. I'm hearing this in fact planning. Please, please, with respect to the release of required information from scientists and any other person involved, please give us information as at when. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for saving us 4 minutes to use 6 minutes. Yes, can we have the information and documentation of Dr. Fabola? Dr. Fabola, I see that you have quite a number of figures, so we give you additional 2 minutes, making 12. Yes, we are still within range. So your time starts.
Good evening, everyone. I know we have been enjoying the presentation. I want to start the protocol. This is staff in the department. The mission statement of the department is information generation, packaging, storage, dissemination, and retrieval. Our mission statement is to be a reputable information and documentation center in the management of science around Africa. Some of our collections might go, but they are named to the horticultural development and scientific finance very useful. They are also up to date, going online and downloading EU resources so that our scientists and people to benefit. Those are objectives, the main objective of the department to apply. We do that online. We solicit for information. I can't go to IITA. We solicit for information from individuals. For example, our past scientists, senior scientists have retired to give us their own books, but they are still very useful. So we start at the department, yes. Collection development administration, that's what I've been talking about. We don't have to evaluate solicit for materials because of paucity of funds. We meet with individuals that can assist us to give us e-copies or e-information so that we can document in the library and make available to our users. Then we have leader services and general services. Under this, we have selective dissemination of information. That means we tailor the information. We know the information needs of our scientists, our users, and we seek to meet their needs. Then we have the library. Okay. Now, yes, I was talking about soliciting for information, for resources. And under this, you can see Professor Ayela Ibe have been giving the library some books. We have a journal from him. I want to even mention somebody that one of our senior scientists. He gave us their own book, over 100, about almost 200 old books that are very useful, and they are in the library, made available for our users. Yes, we also donate, we give to our substations some of the books that are available that we have in excess so that they too can be benefit from what we have in the department. Now, this is the visit of Professor Ayela Agbe to the library and to the institute. Professor Ayela Agbe over time have been bringing students from FUNAB to come and benefit from the library, and that has been very, very excellent. Yeah, we have, we subscribe to Grant Tribune and the guidance, and we try to subject them to subject area, classify them to subject area, agriculture and horticulture, health and social economy. Because people that during decisive visit the library, we classify them and also try to decide things that are available in the library so that people can use it for their research. This is just a representation of the user during the outside review. Then information consulted, books, yeah. We are in section of our information resources. At present, we have already decided 805 different materials under different subject areas. We can see that on the screen, fruit, vegetable, based, and this, so that for easy access to our users, whether within NIOS or outside NIOS. Yeah, we have our IT session that has been very, very useful, even to the institute and to people that visit the department. Under this, we have the website content we make available what NIOS is doing. And recently, we can see that there's a lot of improvement about that. Our social media is available to WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, all these we have been disseminating information. And during the outside review, we also continue with our ICC training. Instagram post, we have about 45 posts on 9 activities. Viewers of, you can see that on the screen, viewers of our face and Twitter, that is making NIOS to be visible to the world. And also on our website, we have a profile of our scientists. That means people can connect with any of our scientists through our website and also see what NIOS is doing. And when you talk about productivity, if they know the profile of our scientists, that will affect the institute positively because they can see what they have done and who can collaborate with them. Then we have digital connection. This does not need any internet or before it can be accessed. So the electronic, essential electronic agricultural library. There are a lot of journals there, different subjects available for use. People come from outside, students, lecturers come to consult, and even we make it available. You can connect to this field on your phone wherever you are in the institute. Then, and this is just the computer application series by 2 we had during the year of that review. You can see the names, 4 participants participated, and we try to tailor this ICT training according to the discipline of the participants, so that they be useful in their department, not just the training, so that they can, and the training is also practical, it's not just theoretical. We have modules for this training, and it is ongoing. We are also still soliciting for those who are interested. They are not scientists, but some scientists are useful.
staff of population, National Population Commission. Two jobs. Now, we have this information. When we go for census, we collect a lot of data, calculators. And somebody responded, please, era of digitalization, we don't need to walk your office and beg you. Just like the United States, and they have this thing free on the internet. Just click on it and you are there. Why do you in Africa we always like to come and knock at our doors and beg us and at times they don't provide some money to give that information out. You know. And so I don't know whether we have a facility where most of these things we're doing are stored for the next generation and those who want to go further with your research. You know, then having to visit your library. A lot of people not come here. You know, it is our era. So I don't know maybe you can react to that. So secondly, I want to ask, how many, I've not heard it, but I think there are, how many of our technologies here have been patented this year? You know, I just asked the pride of the institute. Thank you very much.
We don't answer the question. I would like Dr. Amao answer the question. But I know the second one, she didn't know be able to answer that one. After I delivered the welcome address for the evening this morning, yes. And when we have been I think one of our staff who happens to be on the study team in Canada, Dr. David, just sent a message to me that she has gotten the trade mark approval. Just to answer your question, that how many of our products have been patented? We have about 3 products that have been patented, or 4. These are Liquid and Writing and Super Solita by Dr. Okay. It's also a study for the ship there's a problem with that. Yes. Otherwise, Canada taking my scientists, I don't know. So that one has been patented for 3 or 4 products. And the latest one I'm telling you today now, that also got us 2 hours ago. This is our value addition product of tomato wine. That's what the trademark. And that's the first step of patenting. And then the next line is just for us to pay money again for identity. Verification and validation. Yeah, I think the tomato wine is named Otito. I think it's Otito. Yes, I had it on the system and also sent it so that you have it on printer. So that just to answer that one. That's it. It will go to yes. So we are doing this today. Now it's on track. Globally, we are very competitive. And if we are to go by also patenting, I think the 3 English retro variety is also another like patent. And I think Dr. Please and some other next 3 4 months also be releasing some other products. So we are in patent. On the other one you asked for, my own question is related to that. I will let Dr. Mabo answer that one. My own question is this: that it's just like what ES has asked. Each time you need information, I know how you struggle to get it. And you come up with any template so that we can synchronize all our data. I think that one is very important. And we did the budget together. There's a provision in the next year budget now to establish this data unit, whereby our data capturing process is very good. So please, you can educate us, myself in particular, is there any or any forecasting template for us that each time we need data, we don't have to be calling doctor, we don't have to be calling Professor PhD or anybody to get that. Just go to your archive and get the data. I think we need to have that. On the issue of the information and documentation, I have a lot of discussions with that. I quite agree. We are working under a very strenuous condition of funds, but there is need for us to take what we have been level currently at library and information units or departments. I will tell you an example now. You say you've digitalized 805 materials. Who have not got access to it? You should be able to have access to it. Just like ESL. People don't come to library now. You take library to them. What is our strategy in taking library to people in their respective places? I don't know how updated is the till. The till we have in the library, the essential electronic library. How updated is it? I think we need to know. And I saw some people have donated books for us. I'm very happy, but you didn't tell us yet. If somebody has given a book to 2020 or 2080 or 2098, I think we need to put it here. And it's not only one time of you, like I saw the video, and then he said, gave us some textbooks. Is it one he gave us for what? I remember the one that Professor Ahilaba gave, committed to the Senate. We should also categorize that. This year, how many people? So with that, we know the community. And that's going to be considered. So that if there is somebody that is submitted every year, you don't see it that year, we can follow through. What is the problem? So, so those are the things we do. And Professor Danton, have you collected the one he promised us? I told you that I collected it. So, like those ones, you write the date and the number so that we can have our meetings like that. And finally, I think we still need a lot of work to do in the library, which we also agree, which we can come up with. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I think I'm getting a signal that we need to wind down. So I will ask that the presenters respond to the comments and questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to respond to the question on data. As, at the instance of the ED earlier in the year, we were told like sort of statistics units in the department. And I had a template sent to the WhatsApp platform to all projects and programs, indicating that whenever anybody is to go out on the survey, should please come along with that template, go out with that template. As long as you're doing out work, go along with the template and help us some information alongside your own research work you're doing for whatever your project or program is about. However, I've not got any response in place to that. Although two programs, a program and a project came for template. There was no response and I didn't follow back since we've been reminding people and there was no response.
Sorry, don't sit down. Sorry, Chairperson. Yes, please, ma'am. Professor, but it's not good to want to be like. But I think the planning needs to work along with Dr. Lightning Taiwan. They have this government for we can, and that I think Dr. I discussed that with me about 7 months ago. But I don't know how they come about their own with a very easy way. So that if we have that government for the template of what we have, all the scientists have it there. And I'll make it a mandate before I will sign the form for this year when they're going to decide. You must present that. And then when they come, that will be part of the retirement. So I think we should make it a policy. Please take note of that. Please, Dr. Legislature, they have that government something. And I think Dr. Adeli, somebody give people some food and Dr. And if you see the just idea, then we have it in there. Because it's going gradually, and ES is part of that. So that if our scientists are going out, as we are signing the DTA and traveling allowance for them, we know that that form is there and it's going to be on our platform. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mrs.
Thank you, sir. I want to start with the update on film. The Connect University are the one that provided the film for us, but at present, that has closed. They are no longer operating. So what we can do as an institute is to get access to online access and online information in agriculture, which is Agora. And now Agora was paid before, but now we have to pay because we have been classified as the countries that are under not low income. So we have to pay now if you want to. And another thing we can do, because I've made my investigation, we can collaborate with other institutions and pay together. But by doing that, we will pay less than paying as an institution. So that's what we can do now. Then on the issue of assets, you know, we have what's called asset, open information and closed information. There's some information that are on our website that you will have it, you will see it that no one has it, but you have to come to, because it's like an issue of legalism, the issue of copyright is also there. So when we talk about giving access to information, the issue of copyright, we have to put that in place. The issue of regulation, we have to put in place. So what we have done in the institute, like our repository, we put our abstract and the title of the work our scientists have done. So if you are interested in that work, you can have access to the scientist and collaborate with that scientist, or ask that the scientist directly for that particular paper. And because the issue of copyright and plagiarism is very important, so it's not just access. You have to have close access and just make a summary, like abstract of what we have done. So people know we have done it, but you might not have access to the full information. Just like we have open journal, open access journal, and we have closed access journal online. Some journals, you have your papers there, but you have to pay. Although it might, but there are some journals that open access you can download. So that's how the information is. On the issue of donation of some of information display about the donation is the year under review, that's 2023 and late 2022. But as you have said, I'll make correction, it is noted and we will categorize. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Can we give another round of applause to our presenters? In the absence of any other questions and comments, I want to thank you for your time. Mr. MC.
Thank you so very much, Dr. David, for the wonderful sharing of this session. Please, can we give the chairperson another round of applause, please? Yes, your resilience is highly motivating for us. There's something they call absentee farmers. And ARCN is like a parent to us. And today, you have not been an absentee parent. We want to say a very, very big thank you. Please let us appreciate the executive secretary. You have been ably represented by Dr. Olufemi Salako. We are highly, highly, highly proud. Oluwafemi. Oh man, that's my other brother must stay. Whenever he wants to sing, oh Femi, thank you very, very much, sir. We really, really appreciate you. I want us to really appreciate the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer. He has not been an onlooker. He has been a participant. Please have another round of applause for him. All members of the IMC, we truly salute. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. All heads of projects, those of us who have been online since morning, you take a little break to go shower and come back. I'm telling you, they told me that. Yes, they told me. Either in Canada, something was happening in Canada, or Ghana. You can send me to go and investigate. Let me go to another announcement. We want to say a very, very big thank you to each and every one of the Miles family members. Thank you for your unalloyed cooperation since morning. Thank you so much. You deserve a round of applause for yourself. Please, tomorrow morning we kick off by 9, and as we did today, by 8:30, let us all be seated. today's attendance, we recorded a total of 234 males, 209 females, and a total of 443 in attendance. That's very good. All the rapporteurs, if you are yet to access the format for the rapporteur's report, please see me. We've sent it, we've disseminated, but we are yet to get it. Please see me, and then we'll give you the format for the report. And with that, we'd like to say we wish you a very, very wonderful night's rest and safe journey as you go home tonight. Can we rise to our feet? There is no small journey. So by tomorrow morning, 8:45 a.m., 8:30 a.m., we are set up and seated. Our prayer, again, the second stanza of the national anthem. 1, 2, go. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, ever use the truth to know. In love and honesty to grow and live in just and true. Great lofty heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Thank you very much, Nile Choir. We wish you all a wonderful night's rest.